The twin moons rose above the deep emerald forest, glowing like pale lanterns hung in a sky of cold blue fire. In the shelter of tangled roots and towering trunks, a lone figure moved with quiet steps. Her name was Lyra, princess of a distant kingdom ruled by a stern and unyielding king. She once lived within crystalline towers beneath sunlit arches, yet now she walked among shadows. Her father had banished her for refusing to accept a political union meant to strengthen the authority of their ruling line. She wanted freedom, not obligation. She wanted to choose her own path. For that choice, she was cast out. The forest of Mirith was ancient and filled with whispering winds that seemed to carry memories older than her family's rule. Lyra built a shelter among the roots of a massive tree, shaping the earth with her hands each night and gathering leaves for warmth. Her bright silver skin shimmered under moonlight, but here in the wild, she dimmed her natural glow to avoid drawing attention. She survived on fruits that glowed faintly on vines and streams that tasted of cool metal. Her mind remained sharp, but her heart ached for the life she lost. Her father offered her no chance for reconciliation. She wondered whether he felt regret or whether the crown hardened him beyond feeling. Every day Lyra explored deeper into the forest, learning the patterns of its creatures. Some watched her from a distance with curious eyes. Others fled the moment she approached. She kept a small blade fashioned from the forest's mineral stones, though she avoided harming any living being unless she had no choice. She believed exile did not require cruelty. Nights were colder than she ever imagined, and the silence felt heavy enough to crush her breath. Still, she endured. She believed something waited for her beyond punishment. She simply did not yet understand what. One morning, as sunlight filtered through the branches like molten gold, Lyra heard a strange rumble in the distance. It was unlike the cry of any animal she had encountered. The ground vibrated lightly beneath her feet. She climbed a ridge and peered over its edge, expecting another forest creature. Instead, she saw a metal craft smoking among shattered branches and crushed undergrowth. It reflected the sky like a broken mirror. She froze, realizing the forest had welcomed something foreign, something not of her world's design. Smoke curled upward in thin spirals that blended into the rising day dot. With steady steps, she approached the wreck. She sensed heat radiating from its fractured frame. As she drew closer, she heard faint coughing. Someone was alive inside. She hesitated, then moved forward with determined calm. A panel had buckled outward, revealing a narrow opening. She peered through and saw a figure slumped over a seat. The figure's skin was warm and brown, their features simple and strong. She had never seen such a being. They seemed fragile, yet full of determination, even in unconsciousness. The figure stirred. Lyra extended a hand to help them out of the broken craft. They opened their eyes, revealing a calm shade of dark brown. Surprise flickered across their face at the sight of her silvery features, yet they did not recoil. Instead, they accepted her hand. She helped them climb out as heat waves rippled from the metal walls. Once clear of the smoke, the figure collapsed to one knee, coughing. Lyra steadied them. "What is your name?" she asked with gentle caution. "Mark," the human answered after catching his breath. His voice was rough from smoke. He looked around. The forest, absorbing colors and sounds unfamiliar to his senses. "My ship malfunctioned during a test flight. I tried to land but lost control. I did not expect a place like this or someone like you." Lyra nodded. She sensed no deceit. His presence felt genuine, unburdened by the cold strictness she knew in her old home. She guided him to her shelter beneath the roots. He limped slightly, clearly shaken by the impact. She helped him sit on a bed of leaves. He glanced around with a mix of awe and worry. "You live out here?" he asked. "For now," she replied. "I was banished. I have no other sanctuary. Mark studied her face. His expression softened. I am sorry. Even without knowing your world, I can see exile is not easy. Lyra felt a warmth that had grown unfamiliar. His empathy eased the loneliness she carried. She offered him water from a hollowed stone. He drank gratefully, then leaned back with a tired sigh. Over the following days, Mark regained his strength. He remained near her shelter, exploring cautiously and asking questions about her world. She explained the nature of the forest, the history of her people, and the reason for her exile. He listened without judgment. When he shared stories of his planet, she marveled at humanity's resilience. They faced hardship after hardship, yet Mark spoke with optimism. His world had its own challenges, but humans refused to break under pressure. They adapted. They pushed forward. As they spent more time together, Lyra observed something remarkable about him. He approached every obstacle with determination. When he needed shelter, he built one beside hers using fallen wood and sturdy vines. When he needed food, he learned which fruits and roots were safe, asking questions and adjusting quickly whenever he made a mistake. His hands were skilled, and his mind remained focused. She admired this. She also felt something shift in her heart. Mark's presence brought warmth to the forest. For the first time since her exile, she felt less alone. Mark noticed her strength as well. She moved with quiet confidence. Her silver skin glowed softly at dusk, casting gentle light around them. The forest creatures drew near when she hummed a low tune, as though recognizing her spirit. He had seen leaders on his planet, but he had never seen someone who carried themselves with such calm grace, even while bearing pain. Her exile had wounded her deeply, yet she did not allow cruelty or bitterness to guide her steps. Mark understood that such resilience came from inner strength. Days turned into weeks. They built a bond neither expected. Lyra taught Mark how to sense subtle vibrations in the ground when large creatures moved. Mark taught Lyra simple engineering principles, showing her how to reinforce her shelter with better support. Their friendship grew through shared labor, laughter, and moments of quiet reflection. The forest around them became a home shaped by two different worlds, meeting in harmony. Yet beyond the forest, whispers of Lyra's survival reached her father's court. Some feared she would gather sympathizers. Others argued that leaving her unguarded in the wild dishonored the royal line. The king, still hardened by duty, sent soldiers to find her. He feared her presence in the forest threatened the political alliances he tried to secure. He believed removing her was necessary to maintain control. One morning, as Lyra and Mark gathered fruit near a stream, they heard the distant echo of metallic steps. Lyra's breath halted. Mark recognized urgency in her eyes. She guided him behind a cluster of tall stones. Through the foliage, Mark saw armored figures moving in formation. Their steps crushed leaves and scattered small creatures. Lyra knew them instantly. They were soldiers from her father's court. Her exile had not satisfied them. They wanted to bring her back by force. Mark whispered, "Are they dangerous to you?" "They want to return me to the palace," she whispered back. "Not out of love, but out of fear of losing authority. If they take me, I will lose the freedom I gained here." Mark nodded. He understood. He had seen similar tensions among leaders on his own world. Power could blind the heart. He reached for a sturdy branch near his feet. He did not intend to attack, but he wanted something to defend them if needed. Lyra placed a hand on his arm. "I do not want violence," she said. "I want them to leave peacefully, but they will not listen to me alone." Mark took a thoughtful breath. "Then I will stand with you, not as a soldier, but as someone who believes your voice deserves respect." They stepped from behind the stones and approached the soldiers. The commander raised a weapon. Lyra lifted both hands in a gesture of peace. Mark stood firmly beside her. "Princess Lyra, the commander announced. "Your father orders your return. You will come with us now." "I will not," she said calmly. "I have harmed no one. I have lived quietly. One choose my own path now." The commander hesitated. Authority demanded obedience, but her voice held conviction. Mark stepped forward. "She is safe here," he said. "She has built a life without threatening anyone. Forcing her back serves nothing but fear." The soldiers murmured among themselves. None had expected a human to appear in the forest, standing beside the princess with unwavering resolve. The commander lowered his weapon slightly. "Who are you?" he asked. "A visitor from another world," Mark replied. "But I know dignity when I see it. She deserves freedom." The commander considered this. His strict orders battled with the sight before him. Lyra was alive, unharmed, standing tall and unbroken. Taking her by force would only deepen tension within the kingdom. Slowly, he lowered his stance. "We will report that you survive and choose solitude," he said. "We will leave unless ordered otherwise." Lyra bowed her head respectfully. The soldiers withdrew into the trees, vanishing as swiftly as they arrived. Lyra released a trembling breath. Mark placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. She looked at him with gratitude. "Thank you," she said. "You stood beside me when I felt alone again." "You are not alone," Mark replied. "Not anymore." As seasons shifted, Lyra and Mark built a modest home at the forest's edge. Blending human practicality with alien craftsmanship, they created a space where light filtered through woven branches and where the sounds of the forest sarung.